His name is Paul White, but if you know anything about WWE wrestling or any of the WWs, you likely know him by his other name, Big Show. Paul skyrocketed to stardom in the ring as a wrestler. Now he's showing a different side as a dad of 3 daughters in the show, The Big Show Show. Check it out.
Your dad's The Big Show?
It's been a minute since I retired from wrestling, so I want to get in as much family time as I can. You, the kids, and my championship belts. Oh, you're so beautiful.
You talking to me or the belt?
You. Okay, you two, talk.
Wait, I love a good sister fight. Let me get my popcorn.
She stole my favorite jacket off my feet and I lost. And I got this merit, and now I'll never become the
Ooh, I think I just blacked out for a second.
The Big Show himself joins us now live from Miami. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Very much for having me.
What is the difference between acting with kids on a sitcom and performing in the square circle for tens of thousands of screaming fans?
Well, I thought you were going to compare the kids to my other coworkers. I was going to say the kids on the show are much more professional. The similarities were a comfort for me because I'm used to for 25 plus years of dealing with a live audience and that interaction with the crowd, and doing this live comedy multicam in front of a live audience really helped me find a lot of rhythm and a lot of timing. And the writing has been a tremendous blessing. And my co-stars, Allison Munn, who plays my wife, who she's that powerhouse woman running her own career, managing a giant, and running 3 daughters at the same time. And my girls are all distinct, individual little powerhouses that all have their own personalities. And the one thing that all 4 of them like to do is to run dad crazy. So there you go.
So when you were at Wichita State in the early 90s and you were walking across campus at 7 feet tall, 380 some odd pounds, did people like get out of their way? Like, did you part the sea, as it were? Give me a sense of what that was like when you were among the shockers.
Well, it's always been that way. I've always stood out, at Wichita State especially. I was literally the BMOC. I was the big man on campus. But, at 12, I was 6'2", 220. So for me, I've had to develop a good sense of humor, not take myself quite so seriously, just to interact and make people comfortable in my presence. And that's something I've worked very hard for, to make sure that people are around me, then I'm a nice guy. People will say, "Oh, I hate to meet you in a dark alley." I'm like, why? I might have a flashlight. I might know where we are. I could be helpful, not necessarily a bad thing. But, you want to try to change the cover of the book, so to speak. So that, my wrestling career, sure, I was that character. I was the Goliath, and there were a lot of Davis that had to slay me. But in the Big Show show, I get a chance to be a father. I get a chance to interact with my kids with their different personalities and deal with the stresses that we all deal with as parents. But at the core, the one thing that I want to keep at the core of the show is that it's a good family that you want to be a part of. You want to have fun with our family.
How much of your real life experience as a dad comes through in the show?
Oh, 110%. 110% of me being a dad is in that show because I'm the goofy dad that will embarrass my kid anywhere I can, from singing in grocery stores to, happen to go to the same movie she goes on a date with, and coughing really loud if somebody goes to put their arm around her, to being the type of dad that literally will, put my kid on my knee and talk to him, I like to interact with my kids on a really eye-to-eye level. I never yell. I never think. I'm not that loud parent that everybody thinks that I would be. I'm a pretty calm parent, and that's the thing too. Like with the whole daughter dating thing, it's like, yeah, I'm not the guy that's going to be standing at the door, ready to scare off the boyfriend. I want my daughter to have a normal, healthy social life.
Sure.
Having me as a father is enough of a curse.
All right, we'll be looking out for the Big Show show. Thank you so much for the time this morning.
Thank you guys very much, and please stay safe, and thank you again for having me.
You as well. The show, The Big Show Show, is available to watch now, streaming on Netflix.